Living alone isn't just a change of address. It's a rite of passage that few have the courage to face. Most seek companionship and approval, but one day, life calls for something greater: chosen solitude. Picture a man adrift in the ocean, with no land in sight. The despair can be overwhelming, but over time, he discovers that true strength comes from within. Living alone is that journey. At first, the silence weighs heavily, and the lack of company is unsettling. But gradually, solitude transforms into a privilege, a space for growth, and a chance to find one's true essence. It's an emotional strength test. When everything depends on you, your true character is revealed. Solitude is a mirror that reflects your insecurities and fears, but it also unveils your potential. The freedom to be who you truly are emerges, far from others' expectations. Each choice becomes yours, and this power is liberating. Deep self-knowledge is revealed through introspection. Behavioral patterns that were once hidden become clear. Living alone is a training ground for life, a lesson that shapes not just your routine, but your soul. It's in facing solitude that many discover true happiness comes from within. Those who learn to be self-sufficient will never again be held hostage by the need for someone else nearby. First, an emotional strength test. Facing one's own vulnerability is a challenge many prefer to avoid. The feeling of being exposed without the protection of the masks we wear in daily life can be daunting. However, this process is crucial for personal growth. By allowing our deepest feelings to surface, we begin to understand how to manage our emotions. This experience can be liberating, even if painful, because it is in this confrontation that true character is revealed. Solitude, often viewed negatively, can be a time for reflection and self-discovery. When we are alone, away from distractions and the gaze of others, we have the chance to connect with our true selves. It is in this space that we can see beyond appearances and comprehend our deepest needs and desires. Solitude teaches us to value our own company and recognize that often true strength comes from within. On the other hand, it's essential to distinguish between solitude and isolation. While solitude can be a healthy choice, isolation is generally an unwanted situation, marked by a lack of meaningful connections. The former can bring us peace and self-knowledge, while the latter can lead to sadness and despair. It's important to recognize when we are in solitude and when we feel isolated, so we can seek out the connections that truly matter. In moments of solitude, we can also discover our resilience. It's a test that reveals our ability to face challenges without immediate help from others. This growing self-confidence, which arises as we confront our own vulnerabilities, is one of the greatest rewards of this process. By facing our fears and insecurities, we begin to shape a stronger character prepared for life's ups and downs. Ultimately, this emotional journey teaches us to accept that vulnerability is not a weakness, but an essential part of the human condition. By embracing it, we not only gain a better understanding of ourselves, but we also connect more deeply with others. This connection, born from empathy and understanding, is what truly unites us as human beings. Second, the freedom to be authentic. The freedom to be authentic is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. When we free ourselves from external expectations and judgments, we can finally live the life we truly desire. This absence of pressure allows us to explore our interests and passions without fear of being evaluated or criticized. Authenticity brings a sense of lightness and joy that is hard to describe but easily recognized. By allowing ourselves to be true, we embark on a journey of self-discovery. This internal journey enables us to identify who we really are, beyond the expectations imposed by society. We may be surprised to discover talents or interests we didn't even know existed. This freedom is an invitation to explore new paths and take risks in pursuit of a fuller, more satisfying life. Moreover, being authentic means having autonomy in daily decisions and lifestyle choices. When we free ourselves from what others think, we can choose what we truly want for ourselves. This includes everything from small decisions, like what to wear, to more significant choices, like the career we want to pursue. This autonomy empowers us and makes us more responsible for our lives. It's important to remember that this freedom comes at a cost. We are not exempt from the fear and insecurity that may arise when we show our true selves. However, this vulnerability is a fundamental part of the process. By confronting these fears, we find an inner strength that motivates us to continue being true to ourselves. Therefore, the freedom to be authentic is also a path of courage and perseverance. Ultimately, living authentically helps us attract people who truly connect with who we are. Instead of surrounding ourselves with superficial relationships, we find companions who value our truth. This construction of meaningful bonds is what makes life worthwhile, as it allows us to share our experiences and grow together. Third, deep self-knowledge. Deep self-knowledge is one of the pillars of a more meaningful life. Reflecting on our behavioral patterns and emotions helps us better understand our reactions and decisions. Often, we act automatically, without realizing the underlying reasons that drive our attitudes. By taking a pause to analyze our choices, we can begin to unravel the layers that make up our personality. Identifying healthy and harmful habits is a crucial part of this process. By understanding how these habits influence our well-being, we have the opportunity to make conscious changes. For instance, realizing that anxiety leads us to adopt harmful behaviors can be the first step towards seeking healthier alternatives. This awareness is what drives us to transform our lives for the better. This self-knowledge also allows us to develop a more compassionate view of ourselves. Often we are our harshest critics, and this can hinder our progress. By understanding our weaknesses and limitations, we begin to accept ourselves as we are, with all our imperfections. This acceptance is liberating and helps us cultivate a healthier relationship with ourselves. As we delve deeper into the process of self-discovery, we start to realize that it is not a destination, but a journey. With each new discovery, we are invited to look within and question our beliefs and values. This ongoing reflection helps us evolve and adapt to life's changes, keeping us open to new experiences and learning. Ultimately, deep self-knowledge not only transforms the way we see ourselves, but also how we relate to others. When we know who we are, we can connect in a more genuine and authentic manner. This authenticity in relationships allows us to build stronger and more meaningful bonds, enriching our life experience. Fourth, the power of silence and introspection. Amid the chaos of everyday life, silence becomes a rarity. The streets, conversations, and social media are constantly filled with noise, which can be overwhelming. However, finding moments of silence is essential for mental health. When we allow ourselves to be silent, we can hear our own thoughts and feelings, something we often ignore. This space of tranquility helps us recharge our energies and connect with our essence. Silencing the external world also facilitates the development of mental clarity. With fewer distractions, we become more attentive to what truly matters. This clarity allows us to focus on priorities and the decisions we need to make. It's like cleaning a foggy window. Our view becomes much clearer, and we can see possibilities that were previously obscured. This not only improves the quality of our decisions, but also helps us face challenges with greater confidence. Moreover, silence can be a powerful ally in decision-making. When we are surrounded by opinions and noise, it's easy to get lost and not know which path to take. However, when we retreat to a quiet space, we can reflect on our options more objectively. This process of introspection allows us to weigh the pros and cons, helping us choose the best alternative for our lives. Introspection also leads us to a deeper understanding of ourselves. By sitting in silence and reflecting, we begin to uncover behavioral patterns that may not be evident amid the noise. This self-awareness is crucial for personal growth, as it helps us identify areas where we can improve and also celebrate our achievements. Finally, the power of silence and introspection teaches us to value simple moments. In a world that values hustle and productivity, taking the time to listen to our own voice may seem like a luxury. However, it is in these moments of pause that we find true peace and emotional balance. Learning to appreciate silence is an essential step toward a more fulfilling and conscious life. Living alone is a unique journey, where each day brings a new lesson about life and who we truly are. It's a test of self-sufficiency, but also an opportunity to discover what truly drives us. I want to know from you, what is the greatest lesson that the experience of living alone has brought to your life? Comment below something like, "I found my true strength in being alone." Now back to the lesson. Fifth, developing responsibility and skills. Taking responsibility for our own lives is one of the most important steps toward personal growth. When we do this, we begin to understand that we are the protagonists of our own story. Every decision we make, no matter how small, impacts our daily lives and our future. This awareness encourages us to act more intentionally, creating a cycle of learning and growth. Managing daily life can seem like a daunting task, but it is through practice that we develop essential skills. Simple things like organizing the home, planning finances, or taking care of our health require dedication and discipline. Over time, these practices become habits that simplify life. When we take responsibility for these areas, we realize that we have more control over our well-being and quality of life. The organization of our physical space is closely tied to mental discipline. A cluttered environment can reflect a confused and disorganized mental state. Conversely, when we keep our space tidy, it helps create a calmer and more productive atmosphere. This connection between the environment and the mind is an important aspect of personal development, as it shows that small external changes can have a significant internal impact. Moreover, taking personal responsibility helps us build resilience. When we face challenges, we have the opportunity to learn from them and adapt. This ability to rise after a fall is a valuable skill that prepares us for future adversities. By taking responsibility for our actions, we become better equipped to handle life's difficulties. Finally, the development of skills and the sense of responsibility teach us the importance of self-confidence. Each time we complete a task or overcome an obstacle, we feel more secure in our abilities. This self-confidence is crucial for facing new challenges and pursuing more ambitious goals. Learning to take responsibility for our own lives is undoubtedly one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. Sixth, the value of time for oneself. Time is an extremely precious resource, often underestimated by people. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to forget that every minute counts. When we value time, we realize that it can be the key to personal growth. By reserving moments for ourselves, we can reflect on what truly matters and how we wish to live. This appreciation helps create a mental space where we can hear our own voice and understand our desires. Investing time in ourselves is not an act of selfishness. It is a fundamental step toward personal development. This time can be dedicated to hobbies, reading, meditation, or even simply contemplating nature. Each chosen activity can enrich our lives and bring new perspectives. The important thing is that this time becomes a ritual, a commitment to our own well-being and self-awareness. On the other hand, procrastination can be a significant enemy in this process. Putting off activities that bring well-being and growth can lead to a cycle of frustration and regret. Each time we procrastinate, we move one step further away from becoming our best selves. Therefore, it is crucial to learn to manage time wisely and make choices that prioritize self-care. When we learn to manage time effectively, we can see that there is room for everything: obligations, leisure, and, most importantly, for what makes our soul vibrate. Time management not only improves the quality of life, but also contributes to mental and emotional health. Thus, taking time for oneself transforms into an investment that yields positive returns in various areas of life. Ultimately, recognizing the value of time is essential for creating a balanced and meaningful life. By dedicating moments to oneself, one can experience continuous growth, which reflects in self-confidence and self-sufficiency. Time should not be seen as something to be wasted, but as an opportunity to connect with what truly matters. Seventh, personal transformation and self-sufficiency. Personal transformation often begins with a shift in perspective, especially regarding solitude. Instead of viewing loneliness as a burden, it can be seen as an opportunity for reflection and self-discovery. This new outlook allows one to take advantage of alone time to better understand their own feelings and desires. This shift can be liberating, revealing that solitude does not have to be a negative experience. Strengthening emotional independence is an important aspect of this transformation. When one learns to feel comfortable with themselves, it becomes easier to navigate the ups and downs of life. This emotional self-sufficiency brings a sense of security, allowing one to face challenges without relying excessively on others. In this sense, solitude becomes an ally that teaches how to find inner strength. Moreover, the practice of self-sufficiency also involves taking responsibility for one's own actions and decisions. By acknowledging that one is responsible for their own well-being, space is created for growth and learning. This practical approach to life helps build a solid foundation where new possibilities can be explored and reinvention can occur. Personal transformation is, therefore, an active process that requires commitment. Solitude can be a fertile space for cultivating new skills and competencies. When alone, it's possible to dedicate time to learning something new, whether it's a language, a musical instrument, or even a new form of meditation. This dedication brings a sense of achievement and evolution that strengthens self-confidence. Over time, this self-sufficiency reflects in the way one relates to the world around them. Finally, Personal transformation and self-sufficiency go hand in hand. When one learns to love and value their own company, the door opens to a world of possibilities. Loneliness transforms into a space for creativity, reflection, and the discovery of new passions. Thus, the internal journey becomes as rich as the external life, creating a continuous cycle of growth that enriches the experience of living. And so we reach the end of this journey about living alone. Remember that this experience is not just about being in a physical space, but about the internal transformation that occurs when you allow yourself to confront your essence. Each lesson we discussed here, from emotional strength to deep self-knowledge, is an invitation for you to explore your own life with courage and determination. Now, I want to hear from you. What does solitude mean to you? Have you had the opportunity to experience this? What challenges and discoveries have you encountered on this path? Share your reflections in the comments. And if you haven't yet experienced this phase, reflect. How could you benefit from this time with yourself? What could change in your life if you allowed yourself that freedom? Be sure to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell, because we have much more to explore together about Stoicism and self-knowledge. Each video is a new chance for growth. Remember, true freedom begins when you know and accept yourself. See you next time.